Hello class, this is going to be your review. We have a final test next week on Wednesday. The PowerPoint slide that's up, don't pay any attention to that. That's just the background drop for it. It's going to remain there. Just listen to what I'm referring to on the final few chapters and you'll do great on the test, and I'll see you on Wednesday. So number one, conflict begins when a person sees that another person has damaged or is about to damage something that they care about, right? So if someone damages or is about to damage something that has to do with a friend that you care about, something that has to do with the company that you care about, then that's when conflict arises, whether they've done it or whether they are about to do it. So conflict begins when a person sees that another person has damaged or is about to damage something that they care about. Inner conflict. So inner conflict is something that's inside of us. Do I go left or do I go right? Like in the movies where you see a little devil, little red devil on one shoulder and a white angel on the other shoulder. Which side do I choose? So inner conflict might involve values, loyalties, or priorities, right? So what values do you have? What are your priorities and what are your loyalties and where do they lie, right? Inner conflict, it's inside yourself. Win-lose strategy, right? So we have a number of strategies. You have win-lose, you have win-win, you have lose-lose. But a win-lose strategy is when someone says somebody has to be the winner and someone has to be the loser. But a win-lose strategy allows one side of conflict to win at the expense of another, right? So at the end of a basketball game, it can't be a tie, right? Or in some extreme situation, yeah, it probably could. But typically what's going to happen is that somebody's going to win and then somebody's going to lose, right? So win-lose strategy. Strategy allows one side of a conflict to win at the expense of another. And if you have someone that's a competitor, like a salesperson, they are a person that is likely to involve themselves in a win-lose strategy. Either I get the sale or you get the sale. A collaborator, which is a good person to have in an office place, brings both sides together and works towards a win-win situation. So a collaborator is somebody who works towards what you call a win-win situation, right? It's a win for me and also a win for you, which is good for the overall group. So that's what a collaborator does. A competitor works for win-lose. A collaborator works for a win-win situation. Stress, right? So we talked about two different types of stress, but just stress in general is a reaction or response made by the body to a new situation. So stress is the reaction or response made by the body to a new situation. Could be a good response, right? You need to use stress in order to go up and catch the football for the winning touchdown. And distress is that response when you're in traffic and you know that you're going to be late to work. So stress is a reaction or response made by your body to a new situation. A chronic stressor is something that happens every day, right? Or pretty frequently. So being discriminated against in the workplace every day, that would be a chronic stressor. Type A people, as stated, right? They seem impatient, hostile, and they seem like perfectionists, right? Now, I don't necessarily agree that any of us should be put in a box of being a type A or type B person, but they say that type A people are impatient, hostile, and impatient. Job burnout, and I'm sure some of you guys have experienced that before. I definitely have. It's physical and emotional exhaustion resulting from long-term stress and or frustration in the workplace. So physical and emotional exhaustion resulting from long-term stress and frustration in the workplace. So if you're very frustrated and you're stressed every day, you are going to enter job burnout sooner or later. Internal customer, that's going to be somebody who works with you, right? So if you work in customer service and I work in claims, we're each other's internal customers, and people forget that you need to treat your internal customers just as good as you treat your external customers. Some people can treat the external customers great and then just treat the internal customers like crap, and that's not good. Bad news skills. We've talked a lot about that, and I'd say I have a great dose of that. They're the skills necessary to deliver bad news and still remain business and goodwill oriented, right? So you're an individual who can relay bad information or unfortunate information and still go on about your day. And it's not that you don't feel anything, but you just have the skills to say, hey, it's unfortunate this is happening, but these are the actions that you could take and further your career elsewhere. So bad news skills, so skills necessary to deliver bad news and still retain business and goodwill is called bad news skills. A nice customer, they don't complain, they just leave, right? So I go to your restaurant stinks, and I just never come back. That's what you call a nice customer. I don't complain, I don't write anything on Yelp, I just never come back. The self-esteem trap, that's when I pick up a phone call, ring, 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 somebody cusses me out, and I'm a customer service rep, and then I take it personal, right? That's the self-esteem trap. So I start feeling bad about myself because of what occurred, and that's not how things should be. So if you're a customer service rep and you take a customer's attack personally, you've fallen into the self-esteem trap. A stereotype is thoughts or beliefs about specific groups of people, right? So stereotype, thoughts or beliefs about a specific group of people. ABC people always like barbecue chicken, right? That is a stereotype. That's not an action or anything taken, it's just a stereotype. So prejudice and stereotypes, they don't involve behavior, right? Nothing has happened, nothing has occurred. It's just the way you think and the way you act. So I hold certain prejudices, and if you go into discrimination, that's actually an actual act, but they don't involve behavior just yet. So stereotypes and prejudices do not involve behavior. Can bias be positive or negative? Yeah, it can be positive or negative. I could have a negative bias against you because you look like a girlfriend that I used to have, so I'm not going to give you the promotion that you deserve. And it could be a good bias because you look like a girlfriend that I used to have, and I still like that person, and so then I do give you a promotion that you may or may not have deserved, right? So, and an example that I used in class is that if you're a Dodger fan, I'd have a positive bias and hire you versus if you're an Angel fan, I may have a negative bias and then not hire you. Scapegoating, and people use this all the time. Don't be that person. Is unfairly blaming others, such as an ethnic group, when things go wrong, right? So you unfairly blame other people when stuff happens, and you say, "Oh, it's because of those people. Oh, it's because of those people. Oh, it's because of him. Oh, it's because of her." That's scapegoating. Ageism. Remember, ageism is discrimination that has to do with age, right? So I see somebody come in, they're fully gray, they seem to be, let's say 60 years old, and I say, hey, this old guy's not gonna, he's not gonna catch on or figure out what to do on the computer. That's ageism or discrimination. Or I'm trying to route that person off the team because they're not young, and I don't think they're picking up on the computer techniques quick enough. Two key terms that you have to listen closely to is utilitarianism and categorical imperative. So first we'll start with utilitarianism. So if you follow a principle of utilitarianism, you will make decisions based on the greatest good for the greatest number of people. So utilitarianism, the greatest good for the greatest number of people, right? So if there's a bomb and it's going to go off and it's going to kill 3 people, and it's a bomb that's going to go off and it's going to kill 1 million people, and you can defuse one, you're going to choose the bomb that may kill the 1 million people and defuse that bomb, and leave the bomb that's going to kill the 3 people. I know that's an extreme example, but that should kind of drill it home so that you understand what that term is about. And then there's categorical imperative. So if you ask yourself, what would the world be like if everybody did what I'm about to do? Right? So that's categorical imperative. What would the world be like if everybody did what I'm about to do? So if I drop this pizza box out the car and litter, if everybody was doing that, would the world be a better place? Nope, it wouldn't, so you probably shouldn't do it. Rationalizing, and we all rationalize all the time. Justify unethical behavior with excuses. That's called rationalizing, right? So I want to justify, I messed up on my diet, but the reason why is because I had this hard final, so I had to eat. right? Boss massaging, that's known as kissing up, right? So gave you a couple examples about some people that I've worked with that have done so. Boss massaging is a term. It's known as kissing up. The inner circle, that's a clique who is at the center of power and influence. So a clique at the center of power and influence is called the inner circle, right? Just like the movie Meet the Fockers, where they had the funny thing about the inner circle. A stakeholder, not the same as a shareholder. A stakeholder is any group that a business interacts with, such as customers, competitors, unions, also employees. So anybody that has a stake in the company. So competitors have a stake in the company. Obviously, people work there, and then their family also have stakes in the company. A whistleblower, you may know them as something else, but the technical term is a whistleblower, is someone who exposes people behaving unethically in one's company. So someone who exposes people who are behaving unethically in one's company is known as a whistleblower. The morale, that's the overall mood of the workplace, is known as workplace morale, right? So the overall mood in the workplace is known as workplace morale. Procrastination. Remember, we've talked about this many times, and my mother would always say procrastination is the thief of time. So if one procrastinates, they're putting off until later things that they should be doing today. And we all do that. I procrastinate all the time. Not as bad as I used to, but I definitely, still procrastinate. So you have to set priorities, right? Figure out what's most important, what's least important. So most important would be number 1, least important would be number 10 if you're making a list from 1 to 10, and so on and so forth. But you have to set priorities. So setting priorities is deciding ahead of time which tasks are most important and which ones are least important. Simple as that, and we should all do it. Sandwich generation, remember those are the individuals, mostly they're going to be baby boomers who are at home and they're taking care of their parents, and then they're also taking care of their kids. They're sandwiched in between taking care of 2 different generations. So that's a sandwich generation, taking care of parents because people are living a lot longer these days, and then taking care of kids because sometimes people don't leave the house as quick these days too. Fear of failure is a fear that occurs when people are afraid of looking bad in front of others. So fear of failure, people are afraid of looking bad in front of others. Well, I kind of, me personally, I've lost that, or have, long time ago. But I do have a fear of failure as far as not reaching my goals. But this fear of failure is just a fear that occurs when people don't want to look bad in front of others, and that's why sometimes people have problems with doing public speaking, because they don't want to look bad in front of everybody else. And then stress interview. I'm sure some of you guys have either gone through this or will go through it in the future, so don't panic. Stress interview is an interview in which the interviewer tries to make you uncomfortable to see how you react. So stress interview, I'm going to try and make you feel uncomfortable to see how you will react in that situation, see if you're strong enough, and then go from there and say either I want to hire this person or I don't want to hire them. Alright, so continue to review this video. I will see you next week, or not next week, I guess technically this week, on Wednesday, same bad time, same bad channel, and you'll take your final, and then we'll have a great class, and you guys will have a great break.